Hi, George here with JustOneDram.com for episode 3 of Drink Around New York. And we are going into a bottle of batch 1 of Black Button Distilling in Rochester, New York's Citrus Forward Gin. Black Button is located right near the public market in Rochester, so if you are in this wonderful little part of New York and you are a public market goer, it's right next to the Rohrbox Brewery. Same building. So of course you can go into the market, try some, I believe it's Thousand Island Winery that's in there, and stop at Rohrbox and stop right at Black Button and have a little wine, beer, and liquor on your Saturday morning. Anyway. Let's take a look into this bottle. On the nose you do get, of course, like any gin, some juniper, but unlike a lot of other gins out there, it's not so heavy on the juniper that it feels like you're running through the forest of pine trees getting slapped in the face repeatedly by branches. It's a little more toned back, reined in, and balanced with. Get a bit of cinnamon, some cardamom, orange, lemon. Definitely getting a lot of cinnamon on the nose. There's a little greenness to it that you might pick up, and that's from New York state-grown Cascade hops, which also gives a bit of a citrus note if you're familiar with Cascade hops or IPAs in general. Awesome nose on this stuff. Sit here smelling it all day. On the palate, up front you get a lot of cinnamon spiciness, followed by a nice citrusy, orangey, lemony, kind of hoppy, just fresh, bright citrusiness. With a little juniper in the back, of course. Get some hint of like angelica root. Very faint, very, very faint in the back, kind of on the finish, anise. Definitely a lot of cinnamon and then a lot of a citrus note. Very enjoyable gin. It's very hard for me to find a gin that I could ever even try to even sip straight. My gin palate is expanding, of course, but this is undoubtedly in my top 2, top 2 gins of all time. The only thing that beats it in my mind is Broker's, but Broker's is very standard, normal London dry gin. So, I dare to say that the Black Button Citrus Gin is a much more vibrant, alive, and more fun bottle of gin than the Broker's or any other gin I've ever had. Absolute best gin and tonic I've ever had has been this bottle of gin with just tonic, no lime, no nothing but the tonic, and it was absolutely incredible. The citrus and the cinnamon notes and all the other botanicals in there really made the gin and tonic without needing to add anything else to it, and I like that a lot. Awesome little bottle. I think it's fair to say that this bottle gets a pretty high score out of me. Give it a 94. Solid 94 points. Exceptional bottle of gin, especially for being batch 1 of their gin, their first run at it. I know that the base distillate for the gin is the same as their vodka. It is their vodka, the wheat vodka, and it's quite delicious. And if you recall, in the past I did review batch 1 of the wheat vodka. I thought it was pretty damn good. This gin is no letdown either. Great bottle. Definitely worth getting your hands on. Probably a little hard to get outside of New York State right now, but if you're in Western New York, you're pretty much guaranteed to find it in Rochester. And slowly expanding out from there. So if you see it, and you feel like a gin and tonic, or you feel like a new gin, or if you feel like you've never really gotten into gin and you want to try something that's not so juniper heavy, it's a good bottle. Anyway, later in the week we'll have another episode of Drink Around New York for you. Haven't decided what's next, but if you recall, we've done Catskill Distilling's Most Righteous Bourbon and Omegon's Game of Thrones Fire and Blood Red Ale, made with ancho chilies. So, now that we're on to a gin, next we may go back to a whiskey, we may not. We'll see. Anyway, if you like the video, make sure you subscribe, like the video, leave a comment saying what you thought of the video, what you think of the bottle here, if you've had it, what you'd like to see in the future, any questions you may have. Visit, of course, justonedram.com, Facebook, Twitter, all that nonsense. Cheers!